This is Bad Movies We Love, part of the Shice Podcast Network.
Hello, Bad Movie lovers. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it more than you know. I am your host, Nick Scheist.
The master of this stupid stuff!
And I'm in the thick of it right now as we continue to celebrate June-ClaudeVan Damme here on the show. It's been a lot of fun to go back through some of these classic 80s and 90s movies and either revisit some of my favorites or check off some boxes of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies I haven't gotten around to yet. And speaking of things I haven't gotten around to yet...
If you're listening to this, you are the Resistance.
That's right, and the best way to help the Resistance right now is by telling somebody about it. Whether that's a person in your actual life or sharing the show around on social media. If you want to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast platform of choice. So that way some stranger out there might be able to find this show based on your recommendation. And that's enough housekeeping for now because we've got a great episode lined up for you today. As my friend Nick's, the other half of the Cinema Shit Show podcast, is here, and he took Ben's advice and helped me find something hard. And we're talking about John Woo's first American feature, Hard Target, from 1993. Get on the woo-woo choo-choo and get the hell out of the way.
For the love of God!
I do want the fucking Lance Henriksen cut because he's amazing in this movie.
Then you better bring your PlayStation.
Oh, I fucking ran into a coat scientist.
I'm a huge Raimi whore, as everyone should know.
This surfing car bomb shootout move was absolutely bananas batshit insane.
I'll fuck you, then I'll eat you.
Would you like to see my butt cheeks later?
He's an able seaman.
There's some stuff here that is a little bit more heady.
Next time, take more care with your wallet.
You seem to have a real talent, Mr. Boudreaux, for attracting violence.
Does that make me a bad person?
What are you squealing for? You know how it goes. Recording in progress.
Oh, man, I thought she was going to count it down.
No, she's just, as soon as she's done speaking, it's active. But we're here. Nix, thanks for coming back to the show. It feels like it's been a while since we've recorded together. At least for my show.
It has been quite a while since I've been here. The last one was what, Robot Jocks?
Yeah, it was Robot Jocks.
Yeah, man.
That was December, maybe?
I have no... Oh, my God, dude. That was like in the year 2023.
That was a whole different year. Whole different ball game. But we're back. So welcome.
Oh. I mean, well, I appreciate you having me back. I don't know why anybody would risk it. But, yeah, here we are.
Well, we're here because we're continuing our celebration of June-Claude Van Damme, which is exclusively JCVD movies. And we're here to talk about Hard Target from 1993. So this chronologically lines up a couple years after Universal Soldier. Van Damme has been sort of reintroduced to American audiences through an action vehicle like that, where he gets to do significantly less kicking overall until the final scene. And that is remedied here in this film. So, you know, I didn't look up the ratings or anything before we had actually just agreed to do this. And I see that it has a 6.2 on IMDb, a 63 Metascore, Rotten Tomatoes critic score of 60, but an audience score of 49, which is very weird. I would have expected the opposite. And a Letterboxd score of 3.3, which puts it in like a 66 range. So pretty consistent as like little bit over a 6, except for that one audience score. And I'm surprised because this feels like a very audience pleasing kind of film. And it gives you like everything that you would want really from an action movie. But, you called in on our previous recording and let us know that Universal Soldier was not the top of the food chain for you when it came to Van Damme movies, but this one was. So, what is it about this movie that really made you want to bring it to the show today?
It's got to be the style, man. It's John Woo, his camera, his editing, the way the use of lighting and slow motion and I mean it's kind of it's executive produced by Sam Raimi as well.
Mhm.
And so you can kind of see stuff like that in there, but it's gorgeous, man. It is so much fun. I'll tell you, when I saw the trailer in the theaters,
Mhm.
I thought it looked like the biggest piece of crap I'd ever seen. I was like, this stupid ass Jean-Claude Van Damme bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I caught it on VHS when I worked at the video store and was like, holy fuck, this is badass, man. Because I didn't realize it. I mean, I probably did realize it was John Woo, but I was like, it was Jean-Claude Van Damme, so that looks stupid. I was probably very judgmental.
Yeah, as we all are when we're younger. But you worked at a video store. Was this something that like you just rolled the dice on when you saw that it was John Woo, or it was just a new title that came in and decided to actually give it a chance?
No, I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna actually watch it because oh yeah, it's John Woo, and Sam Raimi produced it because I'm a huge Raimi whore, as everyone should know.
Yeah, I mean, I think rightfully so. I don't know if Sam would require that of you, but I think he would understand.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna actually give it a shot, and then plus I figured out that part of the story was like, now he's a Cajun
I mean,
of
is he though?
yeah, he is.
He
He's
has a
supposed to
French
be.
accent and he was raised in the swamp, but he does not sound like his uncle.
No, no, he does not, but he's supposed to be. That's the best Jean-Claude could do. Wilford Brimley does really good. I
Yeah,
think.
Wilford Brimley sounds like what you would expect for like a Cajun, at least in media. I mean, he sounds like Gambit does in the X-Men cartoons and stuff. So it kind of lines up with what I would expect for someone who's like Cajun, Bayou, Louisiana. But then we get Jean-Claude, and like his French accent in particular is so strong. It's like he's almost like speaking through like a smaller mouthpiece because he has to like control his breath a certain way when he speaks. And him and his uncle just don't sound anything alike. It's like these guys definitely didn't raise you because you have not absorbed any of their dialect at all. So like I get that they had to basically say that this movie is taking place in New Orleans to explain away his French accent, but just say he's French. Like it's fine. He's French and he lives in New Orleans, or he's French and then you tell the story anywhere else in the world. Like he doesn't have to be American, but I guess, when making action films in the 90s, it helps.
But then who would Wilford Brimley be in the story at that point? I
He could
mean,
still be his uncle. He just doesn't have to be like a French guy or a Cajun.
so now, I mean, now when we talk Cajun, like this is what Wilford Brimley is like. It's like if you're going on vacation and you need to
Mhm.
take a little recreation, then you better bring your PlayStation. Okay,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
And then now Jean-Claude, um, and I'm gonna quote my favoriteest fucking line because I did I did a quote last time I showed up. I think I did
Arnold.
Arnold. All right, so here's my Jean-Claude. This is my favoriteest line. So he beats up all the guys that are gonna rape this woman and steal her purse.
Mhm.
I mean, all at the same time, out in the middle of the street.
Yes.
And he beats them all up because he's Jean-Claude Van Damme, baby. And he goes, next time, take more care with your wallet.
Yeah. And it's very like very sort of monotone in his delivery too. And like I had a hard time with it, more so than in other Jean-Claude films, and I'm not sure why exactly, but like reading a little bit of sort of like the behind the scenes notes saying that like his English wasn't great. And I'm like, well, I mean, maybe not, but he's made a lot of movies in English at this point, and has his English like not really improved to the point where he's working with like any sort of like accent coach or dialect coach to help him dial this stuff in? And was his English actually so big of a hurdle that like he speaks in that very measured manner in order to like maybe control the accent? Like if left to his own devices, it would be completely crazy.
I feel like he was trying to be a Cajun boy.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, and I should throw this in here. It's like the only reason I don't know anything about Cajun people and why I gave this a shot when I learned that he with his mulleted hair was playing a Cajun. That's why I gave it a shot and actually watched it. The reason why is because I was born in Lafayette, Louisiana, which is right next to New Orleans. And I basically I'm an honorary Cajun. They gave me a Cajun nickname. I'm supposed to be Robert Jr. Okay. And my dad is Robert Sr. So that makes me Little Bob, and he's Big Bob. Now, the Cajuns kind of take like the French language and all that and kind of mingle it up and have their own thing. So French for little is petite. So they would call you T-Bob, which means little Bob.
Oh, that's where that came from, huh?
That's why we keep using that weird name.
Gotcha.
Well, that's a pointless aside.
But you being born there don't sound like anybody in this movie.
No, because I didn't spend enough time there. I got moved to the middle of the country into fucking Illinois, land of sinkholes. Can you imagine how am I still alive? I would go climbing in sinkholes, dude.
I mean, is oddly enough, I just saw a video of like some kid falling into a sinkhole in his backyard in like Arizona. I don't know why it just popped up on one of my like social media feeds, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it wasn't super deep. It was just like deep enough to be dramatic enough for the video. But you had mentioned like Sam Raimi briefly, and he's a producer on this. And I heard that I think it was Universal that had him as like a break the glass in case of emergency director
Oh
on
yeah.
the project, because
Yeah.
they're like, look, we don't know with Van Damme and his English and John Woo and his English, like we may need you to step in here and clean this mess up. And I feel like at least with like the action, there is sort of a little bit of Raimi DNA in there, but it would have been interesting to see him take on this project and like what that looks like in an alternate universe. But ultimately glad that this was a John Woo film, and it was Woo's first American feature as well. And so when I saw his name at the beginning, I was just like, the recall kicked in. I'm like, is this the first time he did it? Because we just did Universal Soldier, and that was Roland Emmerich's first American film as well. So now I'm like, do I really have to go back through all of Jean-Claude's body of work and see like which iconic directors he worked with for the very first time on their first American film? Is this going to be a trend as we go through the films? And maybe I'll just leave that as a little surprise as I continue to work my way through June-Claude.
Right, because he worked with Ringo Lam, I believe. I think, I don't know if that was his first one, but yeah, it was. So Sam was like, yeah, let's make a John Woo movie. And so he pretty much set all this up. And then at one point, the studio was taking the film away and trying to recut it from what John Woo was trying to do. And Sam Raimi had a huge meeting where he's at the table with all the suits. And if you know anything about Sam Raimi, he's a very buttoned up guy. He's always wearing a suit and tie. He's always very polite. He's very, yes, sir, ma'am, blah, 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 blah. He fucking lost his shit in front of these fucking suits and was like, let John Woo be John Woo. Stop this shit. Yeah, man. So wow, if you got Sam Raimi that worked up, you really done fucked up.
And I know you're big on like different cuts of films, and this is a movie that I had to rent on Apple, so I don't know which one I got, but I think it was like a hour 35. So I don't know if that's, hey, the theatrical version, director's cut. I don't know, but I did see that there was like a 2-hour version of the film that obviously isn't the one that I watched.
No.
Is that is that a version that you've seen?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like the, I guess you would call it like a production cut or something like that. It's like it's got time code on it, and temporary like music and stuff like that. It's like 2 hours long and it's just like fucking everything.
Nice.
It's pretty amazing to watch. But the one that just came out on Blu-ray, Kino Lorber just released this, I think, in 2021, and their Blu-ray is the uncut version. Only
Oh,
the US version was cut.
gotcha.
They cut
Interesting.
out like, yeah, a lot of violence and stuff like that. But yeah, if you get the Blu-ray now, it's gonna have the full uncut, like hour and 40 minutes, I believe, is about what it comes out to.
Wow, this is like the second time in a month that Kino Lorber has popped up in conversation. So giving them free advertising, but I might have to check out that cut actually, because it seems like something that somebody smuggled out of the editing bay before Van Damme and his editor locked the doors.
Oh
And
god.
we're gonna work on this and cut it into a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, with the intent of, hey, people are here to see me, not this Lance Henriksen film where like he's a charismatic bad guy. And I was like, look, okay, so like being in the editing bay for 2 days with doors locked and just working on it is probably a little bit of hyperbole for sure. But I do want the fucking Lance Henriksen cut because he's amazing in this movie.
Yeah, well, I think that's where Sam Raimi put his foot down, and he
Mm.
was like, "No, this isn't fucking right. You can't let this, you know, greasy movie star." Because come on, his hair is like so greasy.
It is. It's like
It's
wrestler greasy where they
gross.
sprayed it up before he went on set every time. And look, it's
Ooh,
one of the best movie mullets though, if not the best.
I think so. Yes, and he's gonna get you in a suplex.
I would have liked to see a suplex in this movie, but there are a lot of kicks. And we'll get to all that, of course, but did you I don't think I prepared you, but do you have a synopsis haiku for this film?
I don't do fucking haikus.
All
What
right.
I
Well, I
that
do
involves
haikus.
math.
It does involve a little bit of math, or at least counting at the very least. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me stretch out. We got this one. We got it. I reworked the end of it there. Okay. Beware the mullet, the most dangerous game yet. Fushan is fucked. I should have thrown in something about lots of explosions and gunfire and kicks, but I like this better because Fushan is fucked in the end.
Can haikus have like multiple paragraphs, or is it just you're only limited to the three
I think it's
or the
just the
one?
3, the 5-7-5
Oh,
structure,
okay.
but I
Alright.
mean, maybe I'll make a sequel to that if I can
Mhm,
think of one by the end.
mhm.
Uh, but I mean, this is, as I mentioned, one of, I guess, the higher rated movies that I've done on this show. With sixes is pretty solid. So at least at the very least, it's solid in comparison to a lot of the stuff that I've seen that really comes in with like, basement level ratings. But for the people out there who are listening, why do you think someone would say that this is a bad movie?
They would just go, "Oh, it's a cheesy Jean-Claude Van Damme flick," just like I did.
I think that's a good way to put it, honestly, because in watching the film, as much as I love Van Damme's sort of like general body of work, I feel like he might be the weakest part of this film.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. but without him, I don't think it would work either. I mean, I wouldn't want like a Jet Li or, you know, somebody, you know, like I kind of like that Jean-Claude is like doing something more outside of what he normally did. He's a kicker and a puncher, and, you know, Kickboxer was his first movie, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, and in this one he doesn't do a lot of kicking and punching. He starts at the beginning, he does. And I think at the end he does, but in between it's a lot of gunplay and action stuff. And hey, good for him, man. I mean, he was out there doing different shit.
It did look really weird to see him with a gun. Like the way he's shooting, I'm like, this just seems so foreign to me. And like you said, I mean, credit to him for like taking on a role that probably, I mean, I know it wasn't like initially designed for him, but to sort of lean into what he could and give like his own benefits by being a big action star at that point, and like taking that and sort of fusing it into what this story and this character actually are. But I feel like at the end of the day, this was something where, you know, I kept thinking of other people who maybe would service this better, because like you get like a pretty good villainous performance from Lance Henriksen. Arnold Vosloo is like very good as the right hand henchman too, and there's
fucking great.
Yeah, and so there's like, I think the script takes its content fairly seriously, and then you add in John Woo, who is going to be like, okay, well, this is going to be sort of like hyper realistic violence. And so now it's like the movie is sort of gone a little bit beyond the page to the point where it's going to be a John Woo film. And then on top of that, it now is also a Jean-Claude Van Damme film. So it's like, I think it just maybe got a little bit further away from what was initially on the page, which I think takes itself pretty seriously based on like the concept of this. And I immediately in my head, I was just like, oh, this is the most dangerous game told as a film. And I was like, you know, I've seen this movie. I remember seeing this movie, but then I'm watching it. I'm like, I don't remember a ton of this. And it turns out that I've seen the end of the movie a lot, but not the beginning a lot, because it was like on TNT or on cable or something. And I would just turn it on and be like, oh, okay, I can get down with like the action at the end. And I wasn't really thinking too much about it. But there's some interesting stuff about, for example, the almost complete absence and incompetence of the police department in New Orleans, you know, the exploitation of military veterans and like PTSD and stuff. So I'm like, there's some stuff here that is a little bit more heady than you would get out of like your typical JCVD actioneer.
Yeah, originally I think they wanted Kurt Russell.
Yeah, for
the role.
Indeed.
That might kind of work, kind of like in a, I don't know, Big Trouble Little China kind of way. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here, man. It's shit. Help me, Nick.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on here that was wet.
Like Ben's mom.
Ben, if you're listening, that's for you, buddy.
There's a lot of new shit that I learned about this, like doing research for it. Like the very first bum that we see, that's actually the
guy that's getting hunted in the beginning, right?
Yes.
Victim. Yes. Victim is the word you're looking for.
Oh, okay. Bum is not the proper nomenclature. Anyway, so that unfortunate man, that's the writer of the movie. That's Chuck Pfarrer.
Oh, wow.
He plays that character.
That's awesome. Well, good for him. Yeah. He had to die a shitty death, but
congratulations. What an amazing scene. Like just the camera work and the lighting, you know, and there's rain, I think, going on as well. And the camera's just kind of floating. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, there's some stuff that it like it's doing a little like POV work, and then we get the arrow that shoots in, and like then we sort of turn the camera on the guy whose POV we're experiencing, and then it turns into the rest of the chase. And like that opening sequence is a sort of it's a hard open, but I think it really gets you in on the idea of what the movie's going to be. And there is part of me that's like, hey, I wish the whole hour and a half really was the hunt and not so much of like Jean-Claude being unemployed and being he's a dock worker or something. So it's like, yeah, I could have done without some of that and like this romance that doesn't really even go anywhere either. So
he's an able seaman.
Well, I was saving that for later, but yes, we hear the term able seaman many times, and I was like, what? You don't have to go for it that often, but okay, him and his fucking Timberlands and his trench coat. I guess he is an able seaman. He doesn't strike me as a guy with a lot of like on the water experience, but it's just to be like, oh, he threw his captain overboard when they found out that he was smuggling something. So he's the rebel and he's like a righteous person, but it was a strange character choice to go that way.
What was the there was a sex scene. It did go somewhere. They did end up banging, but it got cut out of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's better for it because they don't really have exceptional chemistry. It's just like he just sort of like exists and saves her, and then she's like kind of indebted to him, and yeah,
it gets her a little wet. Yeah,
I guess so, but it was the concussion from getting assaulted. So I'm glad that didn't end up making the final cut, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised. But it reminds me of Universal Soldier in the way that they set it up where he has like a female companion, and they kind of like tease the attraction between them, but then that doesn't really go anywhere in that film either. So now I have to think of like, has Jean-Claude been in movies where like he has a real love interest that actually like is meaningful, or is like, was he so narcissistic that like his movies were all focused on him to the point where like that other character just didn't really matter?
Well, I mean, you just did Time Cop, right? Like he was
not quite yet because movie Miss is sick, so didn't get a chance to do that yet. But we will be doing Time Cop, and I know that he is married in that movie. In that story.
That's another produced by Sam Raimi film.
Yeah, Sam. I mean, at least he's got his hands. He's got his hands in the recipe somewhere on a lot of these movies.
Yeah, he was still kind of like indebted to Universal or whatever. He was doing like their bidding and whatnot. So that's how he was able to step in and put his foot down. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? It's a John Woo movie. Just let him John Woo, please." For the love of God,
get on the woo-woo choo-choo and get the hell out of the way. All right. Well, I think that's a good time. We jump into the trailer, take a look back at this. I don't remember the trailer so much, but oddly, the one that I pulled up says Hard Target, official trailer number 1, Lance Henriksen movie. So take that, Jean-Claude. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That fucking reveal with the fucking barrels and shit. Yeah, here we go.
Before we get to the trailer, it's time for a quick word from our sponsor. When you want your mullet to have that chic, glossy look with added volume, but don't want to have to worry about losing the style when throwing a bunch of spinning kicks, choose pure, uncut Belgian mullet wax. Now, you may be asking yourself, isn't wax kind of heavy for a mullet? Well, not this wax. That's because Belgian mullet wax is made from 3 simple ingredients: organic sugar, Meyer lemon juice, and refined body sweat from the best athletes from the premier gyms across Brussels. So whether you're kicking back or kicking ass, you can be confident that your mullet will maintain its glow and sheen even after a motorcycle chase. And as an added bonus, Belgian mullet wax is completely fire retardant, so you don't have to worry about your hair catching on fire when your colleagues get a little carried away with the pyro. It's so good, you'll jumping spin kick your old hair product right out the window. So remember the name, Belgian Mullet Wax. And now, back to the show.
Oh, let me share the sound. I forgot that.
I lost the screen.
Yeah, I had to stop it because I forgot to turn the sound on. Okay, now we're
G, rated
kicking with
G. Give me an R-rated one.
It's rated G for good time.
Embiggen it.
The city of New Orleans.
You want to embiggen it?
Yeah.
There you
In
go.
a darker side of Dixie, away from the music and the lights. There's a
Oh, never mind. It's skipping now.
Provided with a guide, trackers, and the weapons of your choice.
It's like, oh, this is not naughty New
I
Orleans.
need to file a missing person report.
The competitors
Oh, that didn't
are
help.
deadly.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, what
Now it's
happened?
even worse.
What are you doing?
have the necessary skills to make our hunts more interesting.
They always win.
Of course they always win. They got dudes on motorcycles chasing this poor guy on foot. Machine guns.
Position is about to get one.
There we go.
What kind of a name is Chance?
My mama took one.
My mama took one.
Mr. Boudreaux, Silver Star,
Bam!
reinforced recon. He's obviously not someone we should underestimate.
Oh, they shouldn't have given that motorcycle jump away in the trailer, but
I did give away a lot.
yeah.
Now I'm stepped on hard.
Ah, that reminds me of like he's a cockroach.
These men will chase after you. You mad at you for business or pleasure?
Both.
Yeah, when I first saw him pop up, I was like, oh, Wilford Brimley. And then I heard him talk. I was like, that's not Wilford Brimley. And then I had to look it up, and I'm like, oh my God, that is him.
Yeah, he gets pretty close. He does pretty good.
Yeah, it threw me off for a second.
Internationally acclaimed action director John Woo.
Who we don't trust to make a movie.
Right.
You tell me.
Lots of slow motion. There's lots of doves. And we see
Oh, yeah.
showcased a lot of Van Damme like diving around, whether it's with the shotgun, whether it's over the car, whether it's with the pistol onto the hood of the car. He's jumping out of the way quite a bit.
Oh, they do. I mean, because John Woo was known pretty much for stuff like that, especially.
Yeah.
He recreates some stuff from Hard Boiled in this movie towards the climax when they're like back to back, on the wall and yelling at each other and whatnot. That's pretty much like recreated from like Hard Boiled. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I mean he knew why he was here. He knew the assignment.
He did. And I mean, I think what we see is like we get a good John Woo action film out of this. Like we really do. And I think we get one of Van Damme's probably better films out of this as well too. I wouldn't say it's necessarily one of his better performances, but I think like the final product is just a good combination of all the things that you wanted, of like a fairly intelligent script that is in the hands of a really competent action filmmaker. And then you get like a fairly big action star in the lead too. So like everything kind of lined up to make this a really entertaining project. And then you get the great bonus of Lance Henriksen being such a great villain in this.
Oh my God.
You get the great bonus of having like Arnold Vosloo way before
Oh
the
my
Mummy,
God.
and he's such a good villain. And him and Lance Henriksen have such good chemistry as well. I was reading that like one of the studio execs saw the movie. It's like, well, too bad we couldn't have gotten like a buddy film with like two of these guys because they're great. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Arnold Vosloo is just he's what a joy, man. It's a shame that he was kind of wasted as the replacement Darkman. That did not really suit him at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you said that this is it's a good Jean-Claude Van Damme film, but not his best like character wise. So
Yeah.
what do you consider his best acting wise, character wise?
Oh boy. I mean, of the ones off the top of my head that I can really fucking dive into, I mean, his classic ones, I think think like Lionheart sort of doesn't ask a ton of him when he's doing that. So I think that sort of is like maybe it's a lower bar to get over. But when I'm thinking of maybe a film where he actually has to do some serious acting, I would say there's one called what is it? It's called Replicant, and
Oh.
it's like set in the not too distant future, and I think he's like hunting down his own clone. And that movie basically like plays it very straight and very serious. And I mean, I don't maybe Legionnaire, which is also like not amazing, but it's a serious role for him for the most part.
Okay.
And then I would have to look at like all the 2000s range stuff where I'm like, well, what has he done anytime recently that maybe would have made sense in that conversation? But
Well, the only thing I know is JCVD.
yeah. And I haven't seen that one in a while.
That was pretty
good. But he's good at he's good in
I
it.
enjoyed that. Okay. So well, that's good to know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme film, but I am a Sam Raimi whore and a John Woo fan. So that's why I am attracted to this sexy movie. Just look at all that sexy camera work and lighting and explosions. Oh, it's gorgeous.
It is. And I had a really fun time with it. And, you know, you were talking about Demon Knight last night, and part of me was like, well, now I kind of just want to watch Demon Knight, but we'll cover that another time. I do think I want to set that up for like a quad box and get like me and you and Newman, and maybe Aid seems to really like it as well. So maybe he would jump in on that with us. And he's going to record with me, I think next week. We're going to do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So we'll have a little bit of a practice round because he's never recorded with me before. So we'll get our timing down and stuff, and then we'll revisit Demon Knight, maybe like with plans for a little bit later, like October or something, where it's a little bit more thematically on point. But you know, you're speaking of sexy camera angles and like sexy slow-mo and doves flying and all the John Woo stuff that you really would want out of, you know, a film like this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
When we're introduced to Jean-Claude, not when he's in the bar, but like when we first get to see like who he is as a fighter, right? He's confronting these guys out in the street. Dude whips out a knife. It's a small little knife too, so it's not even like super impressive. And then they cut to like a close-up of his waistline, and so he's like pulling back his trench coat, like he's gonna expose a bigger knife or a gun or something.
Right.
He's just exposing his kicking leg.
He's like a gunslinger.
It was amazing.
Here's my weapon.
Yes.
Get ready, bitches.
Ridiculous choice, but also awesome considering that's exactly what Van Damme does. And then he proceeds to like kick the shit out of everybody with his primary weapon being that kicking leg. And he beats all these dudes up. The scene ends, and then there's like a slow dissolve to the American flag, and it's like, this is America, right? Like vigilante justice in the streets, a guy doing kung fu and, you know, defending the honor of this lady who got her purse taken. And then the movie decides to like just roll on and get into some of the other more thematic elements. And I didn't think a ton of it at first, right? But we see the young woman like trying to report the missing person to the cop, and the detective is like, oh, I'm about to be off the clock. And it's like, well, about to be and are off the clock are different things, and you're a police officer, so do your fucking job and take the report. It's like, oh, well, I was about to like sing myself happy birthday, and instead I put my flaming birthday cake into the drawer to wait while I took this report. And then they get to the point where the cop is just like, well, you know, because he's a homeless guy, not really anything we can do. Can't really file a missing persons report on him. And then, yeah, tough shit. And then she tries to give her some like friendly advice after that, and is upset when the lady walks away and doesn't say thank you. It's like, why should she thank you? You just admitted that like not only do you not want to do your job for her, but you're not actually going to do anything about it. And then you just send her on her way and like, good luck. So of course she's not going to fucking thank you. So like this cop, albeit is not designed to be a bad character, a bad person, just seemingly is like a cog in this larger machine of Louisiana that apparently has like no policing, where you can just gun people down in the street, no problem. I think we only see the one cop car the entire time, and it's hers. So it's like she's the sole detective policing all of Louisiana. I get why she's had a long day and wants to take some time off, but then that theme pops up a couple other times where it's like there's just no police presence, like there's no law. It's like very lawless, like almost like a Western in that way. And I think, that's intentional, but it's not something that I would have anticipated in this kind of movie. Like I would expect like maybe some shootouts with the police, or at least like if there's going to be some cops involved, there's more than one. But no, we don't even get that.
Well, the police are on strike. You see them standing around with signs and shit. They're on strike. She's the only person that is still trying to do her job. And that's why she's so overworked and stressed and not as helpful as she may have normally been. She's the only person working.
Is the strike something that I was in the extended cut or something? I didn't see that.
I think it's in both.
Well,
I think it's
I might
in
have to
both.
go back and watch it again while my rental is still active. But it's funny that you mentioned the strike, because as I was watching the movie, I'm thinking of like, this has like some interesting similarities to like a RoboCop type film. And it's like I was mostly thinking of the violence and stuff, but RoboCop 2 specifically deals with them actually being on strike, while 1 is sort of like the strike is looming in the background. But interesting to see that there's maybe a little bit of connective tissue there. Not a ton, but enough to latch onto and pretend like it's actually something.
Oh, and you mentioned our first introduction to Jean-Claude fighting, but our first, and you said not when we're first introduced to him, because when we're first introduced to him, he's in the cafe eating food, and the waitress is like, "Okay, how was everything?" And his first line,
"It's dog shit."
No,
it's something like that. It's not. Don't quote me on that.
It was a tragedy. And she's like, "Oh, it's not free either." And he's like, "Oh man, I tried this on you before. Here's my coins." I just love
here's
that.
My
intro.
92 cents.
Right.
Hope that covers it.
It's 1993. Holy fuck, you got a whole meal.
Yeah, you can maybe get a cup of soup and a coffee for that.
Now?
Maybe. No, not now. Maybe then. Maybe in New Orleans then.
Yeah. I'm jealous.
Yeah. And then okay, we passed the detective stuff, and so the characters have like, gone their own separate ways at this point, and this is when we arrive at Captain whatever his name is and his merry band of able seamen. This is such an odd thing, I think, for this character. Like, it makes sense because they're on the water and it's like a port city. So like, okay, it makes a little bit of sense. But the whole thing about him being like behind on his union dues and like all of this like character backstory, like especially when they've introduced us to so many other characters at this point that are just veterans who are living on the street, like it would make more sense if he was kind of like just one of those guys, but instead it's like he's kind of in between really struggling to find work on a consistent basis and being just another member of this sort of like homeless military class that Fouchon and the villain party is hunting from. So I was a little taken aback by it, but we don't spend very much time with that, right? We just get enough of his story to know that he owes some money and he needs money, so he has to take the job that he doesn't want to take, which wasn't even a bad job. Like, why not just work for this lady for $100 a day versus dealing with this, I guess Teamsters or whatever the union is that deals with like
the
shipping
Sailors
containers.
Union.
I mean, look, I'm sure there is something like that. I didn't do my homework on the Sailors Union, though. I am not a boat scientist.
Me
So,
neither.
so I figure when she offered him the money for $100 a day, that he would just be like, all right, fine, $100 a day. She even tells him like, what does it matter what you're doing? And I
No
don't,
shit.
I don't anticipate that he believes himself to be walking into like a position of like sex slavery or anything, which doesn't seem like he would turn down anyway.
Oh, I
But
want to do that.
Exactly. So him being like, oh, well, I was kind of considering it, but then no, I don't want to do that job. Let me go find out that I owe money and then backtrack here. And we get the slow motion reveal of the the containers moving and him standing there in his trench coat. And I'm thinking to
He's so
myself, like,
sexy.
this is the South too. Like, is really wearing like a black trench coat everywhere effective? Like, is this really going to be the kind of outfit you're choosing to wear in this
It's not a trench
environment?
coat. I can tell you officially,
A
it's not a
three-quarter
trench
trench?
coat. It's a different type of coat.
It's a duster? Is that what it is?
No, it's not a duster either. I can tell you because I own one of
fucking
those.
ran into a coat scientist. All right, well, what kind of
Yes.
jacket is it then?
I don't know, but it's one I would have bought at the mall.
Well, if anybody knows the answer and you want to go ahead and shoot me an email, you can do so at badmovieswelove@theshice.com and
I
tell
would
me
have bought
what
it at
kind
Hot
of coat.
Topic.
That's a hot topic coat right there. So, okay, well, it's a lengthy coat that seems like it's not seasonally appropriate for New Orleans, but a lot of guys are wearing jackets in this movie. It seems like everybody's wearing jackets. I mean, I think even Lance Henriksen's character has one of those coats too. And it's like, this is like a wool coat for a cold, like northeastern town, not necessarily down here, but fashion forward. I understand. Like, it gives him a certain type of look, like almost heroic. It's like a cape, but without it being a cape.
Yeah. And he's like man with no name sort of thing. But here's the thing: there's one scene where you see Lance Henriksen and he's like sweating through his shirt.
Oh yeah.
But in the same scene, you've got Arnold Vosloo wearing like a shirt and a sweater vest or some shit. So it's like, oh my God, that poor man.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, they filmed this on location. Like, it's got to be fucking hot. And the scene you're talking about is a great scene, first of all. Like, Lance Henriksen's at the piano and they're like conducting some business in the background as he plays this piece. And the more intense it gets, we see that he's not like looking at the keys or anything. He's staring his fucking reflection dead in the eye in a mirror that's on the other side of the piano. And I'm like, this is some proper psychopath shit to just, I'm going to practice while staring myself dead in the face. And then he gets up and yeah, it's hot in there. So you can see that he's sweating. And so to me, I'm like, okay. And he's wearing like a sort of like a loose fitting white shirt at that point. It looks pretty lightweight. So it doesn't even look like it's that heavy.
Yeah.
Like you said, meanwhile, Vosloo's over there in the corner. He's probably drenched underneath that outfit. And I mean, the fashion is not like the most impressive thing in this, but there are some decided choices. Like Yancy Butler is wearing sort of like that almost pantsuit, but it's like the suit jacket with the matching skirt outfit when she first gets there, and then she starts to like ease into the idea that she's in Louisiana and like that's not a practical outfit for this environment. And then it gets toned down, but yeah, with Van Damme's jacket, it does give him sort of the westerny gunslinger drifter kind of look that I think they were going for. And so it makes sense in that way. And then he's just wearing like a lot of denim after that. I'm like, he really fucking loves himself some denim in this movie. And that's going to be a really heavy choice. Yeah. He's got a denim jacket over his denim shirt with some jeans. And that's got to be a really like hot choice as well in that environment.
Now, one thing I want to say, which I find really bizarre, there was an interview with Lance Henriksen at one point where he said somebody had hired him for a movie and they wanted him to just play like the worst person on the planet, just like an absolute piece of shit. And he refused. And then when I see this character, I'm like, I mean, this guy is a pretty big piece of shit. I don't know what set you off on the other one.
Yeah, that's a good question. I read like in the notes and some of the behind the scenes notes as well. It said that the instruction given to him by John Woo was like, just play this character as somebody who doesn't value other people and like play it as big or as small as you want. And it was Henriksen that sort of took it to the level that it went to, where it's like, yeah, he's a pretty ginormous scumbag in this movie.
Yeah, he did a lot of improvisation, like, especially later on. There's going to be a lot of lines that he improvised like live, and some of the actors you can kind of see they're like, oh, this is still going. Okay. It's just Lance going off.
Yeah, and as I watch this movie, obviously we're watching this for Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's a celebration, or who knows where it's going to take us with this month. But my focus in this movie was mostly on Lance Henriksen because A, he's fantastic, and B, I kept having to think to myself, like, is he really just this good and sort of didn't ever maybe get the right crack to be this kind of guy all the time? Because it's like, of course he's good in Aliens, right? And it's like he's that kind of character. He has a long-standing history of sort of being not necessarily archetype characters, but he exists in a lot of horror films. I mean, he plays Milton in one of the Scream films where he's like a pretty smarmy scumbag as well. And I just felt like he's such a good actor. Did not necessarily was his career wasted, because I mean he's got a shit ton of credits. He's been almost like everything. But is there a movie where I'm like, Lance Henriksen is really like the man as the lead and gets to really like let loose in the way that he does in this film? And I couldn't think of one off the top of my head.
There's a direct-to-video film that he did with Eric Roberts. Where there's like a serial killer and another serial killer, and you don't know who's who, and these two end up in the car together, and it's oh man, it's so good. I loved it so much. I had it on VHS and I brought it with me to Montreal when I was at quote unquote rehab, which wasn't really rehab, it was Scientology.
They'll get your thetan level straightened out.
That's a story. But I brought a bunch of VHS tapes with me. Something about the beast. But anyway, I was like, oh no, it's a real good movie. It's got good acting and whatnot. And I forgot that it includes scenes of like this dude like injecting him with heroin and shit.
Oh.
I was like, oops, my bad.
Yeah.
But it's man, it's really good. It's Lance Henriksen and Eric Roberts, I think.
Yeah, Eric Roberts is a really like fun, good actor as well, given the right opportunities. And I think of roles for Henriksen like Quick and the Dead, where he's great in that as well. And I'm curious now that I've seen this movie and really enjoyed his performance. I'm like, do I need to really like hunt down all of Lance Henriksen's best work and start to work my way through it? Because he's got, I don't know, 300 movies to his name. So obviously not all of those are going to work, but I want to see the ones that do, because what we get out of him when he's on top of his game is really great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you don't even have to watch the best of his stuff. Just watch anything that Lance Henriksen is in. He's fucking amazing in everything.
Yeah, I mean, he was in Alien 3 again as like a cameo as Bishop, and then he sort of plays like one of the Bishop designers or something, or he's just like in there as a nod to that character in one of the AVP movies and some other stuff as well. But I really need to look. He's got so much stuff that he's been working on, so I feel like I have my work cut out for me with that project. So I'll have to do that at another time.
Yeah, he's like really just cranking out a bunch of like low budget B straight to videos, straight to VOD sort of shit. So Yeah.
Hey, when you got to work, you got to work. And
I mean, no, I don't, no shame, man.
yeah.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
Well, if anybody has a favorite Lance Henriksen vehicle where he gets to star in it, you can email me at badmovieswelove@theshice.com, and I will take a look at that. And maybe one of those will fall right into my lap for a future episode. But getting back on topic with Hard Target as best as we can, we get this sort of notion of
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick. Hey,
What's
Nick.
that? Yeah.
It's called The Nature of the Beast.
Nature of the Beast. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There you
All
go.
right, sweet.
All right. Hey, mystery solved. Fucking what's that VAR guy name? Seth. He can
Seth.
relax. He can relax. We looked it up, Seth. We figured it out.
We did, and it didn't take that much time, and there wasn't a whole bunch of dead air in there either. But
Sorry.
No, it's fine. But like, we were talking about kind of the substance of this movie, not just the action, not just the fighting, like what the movie actually dives into. And I think one of the things that kind of really landed for me in an unexpected way is, we have this young woman who's trying to track down her father, and she was basically like in a pen pal kind of relationship with him because they had been estranged for a while, but working on rebuilding that relationship. And when she goes down to find him, she's unaware that he is homeless at that point. And we get this like realization that through her dad's friends that the dad just like didn't want to bring her into that. He didn't want to tell her what was going on because he didn't want to worry her. And I was like, that's like real. That happens. And
Yeah.
I felt like that was a really good representation of sort of like a parent's burden of struggling and not being able to communicate that. And it made me wish that we would have maybe had like some interaction between the two characters because it's all implied. And we get Yancy Butler is just left in the wake of this absence. And like pretty quickly or pretty early on into the process of looking for him, it's just like, oh, well, we found his body. Okay. So we're not going to spend the whole time looking for your missing dad. And then we get, Jean-Claude's going to stroll down to a building that has been torched, and he's just going to be like, all right, well, this spot in the floor looks good. Let me stick a stick in the ground and move it around. Oh, look, I found the thing that I was looking for in 10 seconds. I'm like he had a metal detector in his pocket or something, but that leads to another fight scene as well. And then that he ends up getting arrested for trespassing on the property. And like he's jabbing at the cops too. He's like, oh, thanks for arresting me for getting my ass kicked. And again, it points back to this thing with the cops of like, they're just like not aware of what's going on in the city. Like they're not focusing their energy in the right area. And I'm really curious to like know the backstory of the script from Chuck Pfarrer because I want to know, like, is he from Louisiana? Was he experiencing a lot of issues with the police? Where did all that come from? Because it just seems surprisingly like prescient for a movie in 1993 that's a John Woo action vehicle. So I might have to do a little extra digging once we get out of here because it's surprising. But I mean, he also went on to write Barbed Wire and Red Planet and The Jackal and apparently a bunch of movies that I would love to do on the show and Darkman. So there's the Raimi connection once again. And I just feel like this is a story that has really good substance. And when we had talked about Universal Soldier a little bit, it kind of relies on drowning you in the action to give you a reason to keep watching. And I feel like that is not the case with this film. With this, the action is a nice supplement to what's going on. And of course, like it's a Jean-Claude movie, you're going to expect some fighting and some action here and there. But the kind of action that we actually get here, I think goes above and beyond what you would usually expect for a Van Damme movie. And that's thanks, primarily to John Woo taking over and directing this. And I don't know if that is highlighted better in any moment than the dirt bike surfing moment, which I mean, like I was laughing, but also like on the edge of my seat with how crazy this is, because, you know, I wrote down, it's like this surfing car bomb shootout move was absolutely bananas batshit insane. And I stand by that, because he finds out that he's got a couple of holes in the gas tank for his bike. And so he's like, okay, let me use it as a projectile or a bomb or whatever. And he's going to play chicken and drive it directly into the oncoming vehicle that also has two guys leaning out the windows, firing weapons at him. And so I'm like, okay, like I've seen people use motorcycles as weapons before. I kind of have an idea of what I expect him to do here. And he doesn't do that at all. Not at all. He decides to jump up on the seat with both of his feet and surf this thing while also firing a weapon. And then he doesn't really like abandon the motorcycle in the middle of it like you would see in other action spots with a motorcycle. He's like, no, I'm just going straight into the head-on collision. And I will conveniently do a karate tuck and roll over the top of the car and hopefully just get out of the way before the whole thing fucking explodes. And I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's amazing. And I think it's sort of like a microcosm for what this film is, like capturing a lot of the different elements combining to really make a moment like that possible.
Good Lord, you are full of words.
Sometimes, yeah. When I've slept well.
There are so many things I wanted to talk about 10 minutes ago. It's hard to remember. I remember, okay, so here's one of the things. Because we were talking about, you said it would have been nice if we could have more between the daughter and the father.
Yes.
But we do get a nice scene where Jean-Claude and her return to like the homeless shelter, and Elijah, which is a friend of Jean's, is another homeless guy, gives them his shopping cart, which is full of all of his things, and it's full of all of the letters that she had written to him. Like,
yeah, that was very sweet.
Yeah, you can see that he had held on to them. They were very important to them, to him. I also wanted to say, because no, that's not what I want to say. You talked about Jean-Claude going to the burnt out husk of a building and poking the stick and finding something. Well, remember, he was in his apartment. And a dove flew in out of nowhere, right? And it was in slow motion, and then it landed on a perch right next to Dolph Lundgren's Jean-Claude Van Damme's dog tags. And you know what's true about dog tags? Nick,
they come in pairs.
They do. There's 2 dog tags, and that dove reminded him. So that's why he ends up there poking it with a stick. And then, anyway, so when he gets arrested for getting beat up, right? He's like, "This is what I found. Something." This is another one of my favorite lines. Something sharp and hard. It's so funny.
Yeah, he has to do the police work for her, but he does. He gives them evidence, so that helps.
You know what's fucked up is that later on, Hot Cop, whatever her name is, Cassandra or something, I can't remember her name, but she's fucking hot. I love she is so smoking hot. I'll celebrate her birthday with her.
That's Cassie Lemons.
Oh, she's fucking hot, dude. Later on, she takes the dog tag that proves that he was hit by something sharp and hard, and she puts it in the doctor's pocket. The doctor she knows is lying and manipulating. So, what an idiot.
Again, incompetent police work throughout the entire movie.
She's the only one left, Nick.
She's overworked. She's overtired. I understand. But she does show up like when shit hits the fan and she's ready to throw down, and she immediately gets into an exchange of heavy gunfire. So I give her credit, not scared, not wearing a vest, no nothing. These guys have automatic weapons, and it's like, all right, well, I got my pistol, and we're just gonna have to throw down and see what happens.
Man, we haven't even talked about Randall.
No, not much.
Oh, do you want to say anything about Randall? Oh, Nick, I feel like I'm taking over your show. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Talk about Randall all you want.
No, do you want to talk about Randall? I want to hear you talk about Randall.
Which guy is Randall? Is that the
He's the rotund gentleman.
He's the guy that's passing out the porno theater flyer.
Yes. So
gotcha.
Yeah, because remember, they give her his grocery cart, and she finds the letters and pictures and stuff, and then she finds a stack of porn flyers for a porn number. And so now they're gonna go find the guy that gives out the porn flyers for the porn number.
That's right. And he does have like an army of homeless men going around giving out these porno flyers. So it's like, this is before all this stuff was automated online. You actually had to hire somebody to go and pass all these out to individuals. And I mean, I think he's an interesting character in this film in that he sort of is like selling out his own people, he seems like he's much more in line with like just the everyday person that sort of is struggling in Louisiana in this environment. And I mean, I think when they bust in on him, he's in his bed before he gets like Vosloo gives him a big old like elbow drop to this distended gut. He is sleeping in the bed that's like right next to his office. So it's not like he even has like his own separate place, or he's working out of like his front room in his house. So he doesn't seem like he's got all of his shit together, but he's very much like, oh, I'll take some extra money from these like rich psychos in order to sell out sort of like my fellow man. And there is a moment where he hesitates at first, and then, they cut his earlobe off, and then he starts to cooperate a little more.
Yeah, I mean, So first of all, you're right. You can't just assault people's eyeballs on a computer at this point. You have to go out and physically find the perverts and tell them where to find the porn stuff. So that's why he hires all of the homeless people so that they have money or whatever not. But yeah, on the side, he's looking for Vietnam vets and shit so that he can tell what's Lance Henriksen's name?
Bouchon.
What's he got like a French name?
I don't know.
Not from there. Okay, well anyway, so he's like letting him know when he finds like somebody that doesn't have family and they might have a little bit of talent. I don't understand. I mean, these people are homeless and I'm sure they're not eating well and whatnot. So how much of a fucking challenge can it be to hunt them down?
I mean, it obviously wasn't that much of a challenge. It was more like the rich assholes who were really interested in doing it were almost completely incompetent to where they had to be spoon-fed these kills. And then also, we'll do the alibi for you. We'll make sure that we clean up the body and all that stuff. So, they're not very good at this, even though they do want to do the killing. And, listening to Fouchon sort of justify it, like, oh, well, we only hunt soldiers because they're capable of participating in this in a way that makes it a challenge. But then we don't actually see that from the soldiers for the most part. And even Elijah, who seems to be fairly decorated when they read his like service jacket before they start hunting him, he gets his hands on like a machine gun and immediately wastes all his ammo. I think he shoots like one guy and then just starts running away again. I'm like, this guy, come on, like, you're a trained soldier, you're being hunted, you're trying to win money. I get that, you're a homeless guy now, but you seem to have all your wits about you. So that doesn't really translate well. And then I was just hoping that, okay, maybe it's all this setup to really show Van Damme in this light, like what he's going to do when he's being hunted. And so I just, the wheel started spinning and I really started thinking of like, this is a really solid script that maybe somebody like Peter Berg would be very well equipped to direct, and you get a more serious actor in the lead and focus on the elements of like the hunt specifics of like, hey, you think this guy's going to be an easy kill, but he is a very decorated soldier. He's very resourceful, which we don't get a ton of. We get a little bit of because this is a John Woo action flick. At the end of the day, it's not meant to be taken as like a serious drama in that way. But I did imagine myself like watching another version of this movie that takes itself more seriously and thinking about how good that movie might be. And, with all the remakes that are getting done on a regular basis of stuff that like, why is there a new Garfield movie? Like, this is the Garfield movie as opposed to Garfield the movie, which came out like 10 years ago. Why are we doing that when there's something like Hard Target that you could remake with probably people who would want to actually participate in something like this? And you don't have to do it as necessarily like a remake or a sequel. You just take the concept and reboot it. I think there's movies out there like this that are prime for like sort of a new look and a new sort of feel to it. And I couldn't help myself from thinking of like, oh, what if this was sort of made in the vein of Lone Survivor? And then I was like, oh, actually, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I don't know what that means.
Check out Lone Survivor and then you'll know.
Okay. I mean, I think it would lose a lot because John Woo wouldn't be doing it. It's a John Woo gig, man. I was also gonna say, remember, because we were introduced to Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Randall, what's his name? Arnold Vosloo. He gets one of my best lines. He says, "Don't worry about Randall. He's all ears." Right? With the scissors on his earlobe.
Uh-huh. Yep.
They end up cutting it off anyway. Which is fucked up. But then Jean-Claude goes to find Randall, and he finds him at a massage parlor.
Indeed.
And the sign outside. Did you read the sign outside, Nick?
I did. I accidentally paused the movie to get up and go get something from the fridge when that popped up, and it was like Miss Kiki and her magic feet or something, like her wonder feet.
Live from Aribi, Kiki and her wonder feet.
So, yes, I did have some questions of like, is this just like the poster for a show that's not happening? Is this masseuse like walking on people's backs? Is this like a foot fetish joint?
And she costs extra.
Well, none of those things are true. She's just giving him a massage like with a towel too, which,
we don't know that's Kiki. That could be
that's true.
One of the other massage artists.
Fair point. But I did catch the sign, yes.
Okay, well, I'm glad. I really wanted to share that. Oh, God. How does this work, Nick? Guide me. Hold my hand. Tell me how we do this podcast.
Well, here, since we're pointing out like weird things in the background, it sounds like it's a good time to do some trivia.
Time for trivia. I don't know shit.
Look at that segue. You do know shit. You already spoiled one of the questions. I had to rewrite it and come up with a different question.
Did you do that while we were talking?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to need you to pay full attention to me, my friend. Good Lord.
I already had the bonus trivia section sorted out, so I just was able to copy and paste really quickly. But
what question did I fuck up? Tell me that. Come on.
The first question was, what other actor was originally sought for the role of Chance? And it was Kurt Russell, as you so adeptly pointed out.
Yeah, look at me, baby. I'm so attractive.
Yeah, you got a mullet right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I have really long hair. I could make it a mullet, yeah. I'll do it for you.
Hey, look, the world awaits. But all right, so the new number one question. The film initially earned the dreaded NC-17 label. Yes. How many times was it submitted before finally getting down to an R rating?
Oh, fuck, man. Oh, I know that this happened, but I did not catch the number 12.
Not quite. It was 7 times total that they had to resubmit the film, which that's a lot of editing back and forth to be like, all right, well, maybe let's take out one more kill and let's see if we can get it to that R. Like, oh no, still too much violence. Okay. And it's kind of weird because there isn't like nudity that I can think of or like gratuitous sexual behavior really of any kind. I mean, there's like the porno flyers, but for this, even as a super violent movie to be NC-17 is a little surprising.
Yeah, it's man, I don't get the MPAA. I never have. Their reasoning has never made any sense. It's all run by a bunch of fucking goddamn parents and shit that fucking think about the children. It's like, what? Why don't we think about the audience? I mean,
yeah, at the end of the day, this ain't for kids anyway. So let me see Jean-Claude like kick some guy's head off.
I mean, fuck, man. There's really not, but I mean, I think they had cut out like at least 3 to 10 minutes like out of this. I didn't track it all down. I ran out of time, buddy. Sorry.
And did you end up watching the 2-hour version? That's the one you watched?
Oh, I've had the 2-hour version and been offering it to my friends and family members for at least fucking 12 years or so.
Wow.
I originally got it in separate pieces because I had to track it down at the darkest parts of the internet. Ooh. Nowadays, you can get like a full torrent and shit, and it's 2 hours long. But yeah, I have that. Why the fuck wouldn't I?
I expect no less from you. I was just curious, like, do you know off the top of your head, like, what are the things that got cut out between that and the theatrical release that really maybe like made the grading of it such a problem?
I'm having trouble looking through my notes. I'm just seeing right now that at one point Lance says, "I'll fuck you, then I'll eat you."
Okay, I mean, maybe if that's something that's not in the theatrical cut, it would make sense, but it lines up for that character, and I want to see more of that.
It's great. He does say that in this version that I watched.
Evil, slimy Lance Henriksen is fantastic.
I mean, he flat out fucking kills people. Like that guy. Remember the fucking guy that paid for the hunt? And then he had Elijah, which was the black guy. He had him down, and he was like, "Take the shot," and he didn't. So he got away, and then eventually Elijah was able to shoot him, and then Lance walks up with his fucking 1-shot gun, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck you," and just blows him away.
He does start killing off all of I'm not going to call them investors, but the paid murder guys, all of the dudes. He kills that first one, and then it's like, oh, we've got a special event where the buy-in's going to be even higher, and there's going to be 6 of you, and there's only one chance Bordeaux, and you're going to try to hunt him down. But then he kills like 3 or 4 of those guys by himself, where he's just like gets frustrated with them, and he's like, "You're dead now," and it's like, wait, they already paid you, man. You're like even shittier than you were before.
Right. You pay me to solve my problem. I mean, yeah, we get one of the greatest insults, though. Like, after everything goes south, he just looks at this fucking businessman, whatever, that just paid $45,000 or something. And he goes, "You are a fucking buffalo." It's great. Oh, my God. I mean, and we're also, we're gonna meet Wilford Brimley. Are we at that part?
No, not quite yet. We're still in trivia, which we've diverted from, but I've got more questions for you.
Nix is derailing the whole thing. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Who doesn't love a train wreck? It's fascinating. But so the new question number 2 was, which script did John Woo turn down in order to direct this movie instead? It's a little bit of a trick question. I'll give you that hint.
Oh, come on, man. What do you mean a trick question?
You'll see.
You're gonna see. Say this isn't right because it's the incorrect year, but I'm just gonna say it anyway to say something. Fatal Attraction.
Now that would have been something. No, but it does. The first two letters are the same. It's Face Off, which he turned down in '93 because he wasn't interested in the sci-fi, and then came back and was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that movie. 4 years later, then comes back to direct Face Off.
Do it. Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of cool that this project that, you know, maybe doesn't become the sort of iconic Nick Cage Travolta movie that it is. Maybe, you know, there's a universe out there where John Woo didn't do that movie. So I'm glad to see that, you know, he was offered it years earlier and then circled back around and took it on and like turned it into the kind of cult classic that it is.
Was everybody just done with Jean-Claude Van Damme at this point? Is that kind of why
93? I mean,
it didn't.
Reading some of the stuff about what was going on the set here and like just how he sort of threw his weight around as the star, quote unquote, I can understand why maybe people were not really interested in working with him if all this stuff is true. And that is another good segue into the final question of this segment.
Fuck.
It was
Derailing
reported
that
it was reported that Van Damme was, of course, a diva on the set who exerted his power by making sure that the production focused on what?
His cute ass butt cheeks.
Kind of. He insisted that there was one camera that was dedicated to always focusing on his muscles. And it turns out that all of that footage was cut out of the movie. But then there's like a couple scenes where I'm like, nah, like he's got the muscle shots in there, but it's not the whole movie. And I'm curious if like through John Woo and maybe some of the other people that really wanted to like tone that shit down, they're like, you're gonna wear a fucking long coat, you're gonna wear multiple layers of denim, like you are not taking your clothes off. And I had to think to myself, like at the end of the movie, I'm like, he hasn't taken his shirt off the entire movie, and then it's like off goes the jacket and out come the biceps. I'm like, of course, you know, as soon as I thought it fucking happened.
Well, that final fight with him and Lance was reshoots.
Was it? Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like that wasn't in there. They had to reshoot it and put in that whole hand-to-hand thing.
Well, I don't know if it's accurate, but another one of those little tidbits that I was reading says that Van Damme like pulled Arnold Vosloo aside and asked him like, what is that accent? And he said it's like South African. And, yeah, and I had picked it up. I was like, okay, I think that's South African or like Afrikaners or something. And so I noted it, and then to read about it in these notes, seeing that Van Damme basically like gave him shit, being like, you're never gonna make it in Hollywood. And
what?
Exactly, to think of Jean-Claude Van Damme with the accent that he's doing in this movie to talk shit about Arnold Vosloo's accent is just like mind-blowing to me. And I was like, talk about the pot calling the kettle black in this instance. But
I have not heard that story.
Yeah. I don't, again, this is all just like trivia pulled from the internet. I don't know if it's true, but a lot of the trivia points to like Van Damme was a dick on set. Van Damme wanted to do this on set. He wanted to control this. Like he was busy taking phone calls, like not focusing on the work because he's like setting up other projects. So I don't know how much any of that is actually true, but anecdotally, it seems to line up pretty well and pretty consistently. So maybe where there's smoke, there's fire.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they said he was very polite to the women. So there's that.
Would you like to see my butt cheeks later?
I will open your beer bottles.
Would you like a beer? So we were talking about Elijah and that last hunt a little bit, and it reminds me that I wanted to point out something that they say to him, and they're like explaining the rules, and that if he gets to the river with the 10 grand, he gets to, you know, ride off into the sunset with his 10 G's and just be happy. And Vosloo's character, whose character name is Pick Van Cleef, which is a crazy character name. Heck. He says to Elijah, like, he implies to him, he's like, you like sports. Well, like, figure it out then. What happens if you lose? Figure it out. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's not how sports work. Like, the loser doesn't get killed at the end of a sporting event. I was like, this is a terrible analogy. So I don't know what he was trying to imply, but I mean, it gets him to start running. So I guess that's like all you really need at that point. But like during that whole chase, like they're like, they pull up in multiple like dark SUVs into a graveyard, unloading machine gun fire super casually. So it's like, again, no cops around whatsoever. And then Vosloo finally tracks down Randall in the car, puts a shotgun to his head, and starts like talking to him maniacally. I'm jumping all the way around, man. Just because I'm talking about this particular like character and his like psychotic behavior. Yeah, he has a shotgun to this guy's head and like toys with him like he's not going to shoot him, and then still shoots him. So I feel like that executive,
great shot.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But I feel like that executive who sort of recognized that Lance Henriksen and Arnold Vosloo, like, as these sort of, you know, two psychos that just happen to find each other and have been doing this in other parts of the world, that like that's kind of like the core of what makes this movie maybe as interesting as it is. And, you know, we're at a point where we're not going to see sort of another version of that where they're younger and doing this in other parts of the world. But it really is just like they're so good and having so much fun together.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. It really does kind of make you go, oh man, they've been bounced around all over the place, just killing all these innocent people.
Yeah.
They just happen to be here right now. And these people happen to be involved because, you know, they fucked up. They killed somebody that had a family. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. But because it builds up, and at the end he's like, this is our last hunt in New Orleans. We're leaving. They're gonna fucking pull up and go somewhere else. They may even go to a different country.
Yeah, he implies that, and he's also sort of joking with him during the explanation that we could do this basically like in all of Eastern Europe, but it sort of points back to like, why are they doing it in New Orleans? And it's because of like the complete lack of like police presence and oversight that it's super easy to get away with this. And so it feels like there's just like a lot of the moments in the script that like take a shot at that in particular. And it's not something that I expected from this, but I'm glad that I got it because it really like paints the picture of New Orleans as like this wild, wild west town where like guys are getting shot and murdered in the street. People are disappearing all the time. And, you know, nobody cares. The rich, evil dudes like have all the guns and the firepower, and they basically run the town from the shadows. Bonk. Are you still there? Why are you muted? What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm late. All right. I also wanted to point out we didn't get to talk about this, but it's super important, man.
Let's go.
When Elijah makes it into town, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because we've gone through like a cemetery, which is gorgeous. Like the camera work swooping in and out of these above ground like mausoleums and stuff is absolutely beautiful. And he fucking makes it out of there, and he makes it into like, what is this supposed to be? Main Street or something?
Yeah, I was like, I'm guessing it's Bourbon Street because some of the shots where it's not crowded, I'm like, I think that's what they're implying.
Yeah,
but I'm not familiar enough with the area to be certain on that.
And he's running up and he's begging people to help him and save him, and everybody just thinks he's a homeless guy. It's like they all frown upon him, and he meets up with Ted Raimi.
That's right.
Sam Raimi's brother is there, and he gets one of the greatest lines. He says, "Ain't got no change on me, man."
Yeah, and then it's like they just indiscriminately like shoot up a bunch of people.
they shoot him dead in the middle of the street in slow motion,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody runs away, and that's pretty much that's it.
Yeah, that scene reminded me a lot of RoboCop with the Ed 209 and the boardroom, and like he's like begging for help from everybody and like get the fuck away. I'm not letting this robot asshole shoot me to death. And then he gets shot up like a bunch, like tons and tons of rounds unloaded into this guy, and so it doesn't seem like it's that much of like a even a fair contest remotely at that point. But also like they gave him the money belt, and like a lot of that money is going to have bullet holes in it at that point.
Oh, I wanted to point out, this is something that I learned while researching. Apparently, the only reason we have the money belt is because of Lance Henriksen. He
brought that from home.
No, he was like, well, why would these people agree to do this without any guarantee that they would have the fucking money? So you give them a money belt with all the money in it. Mm-hmm. And now if they make it out, well, they got it. And so that's why it's there.
There you go. Another feather in the cap for Lance in this one. He's like, hey, we got to do a little bit like of a script adjustment here because this isn't making sense. And I'm really into my character. So money belt. Look, I've got one in the closet at home. I'll take care of that.
I'll even stuff it with my own $10,000.
Yeah. And then like, I know you had mentioned a while back that like Lance has this single chamber like elephant pistol, and it's a horribly efficient weapon like when he needs it to be efficient in the right spots, because it's one shot like a double-barreled shotgun, but you shoot it, spend the round, you got to open it up, put in another round, and it's not great when he's in a rush, but it looks cool, and it packs a big punch. So he ends up shooting a lot of people with it that sort of make it count in that way. And it's like, okay, when you're a villain and you sort of need like your signature thing, I kind of like that they gave him this gun. Like he's so confident in his abilities as a efficient killer that he's like, I don't need a gun that has more than one bullet in it at a time to hunt these guys down, or to kill all the people that just paid me $750,000 to hunt this guy down. So he's quietly just like picking those people off. But it really, the final showdown sequence where it's like, okay, now this gun doesn't make a whole lot of sense when the other guy's got a shotgun or a pistol that's semi-automatic. Like you're definitely at a disadvantage there.
Yeah, but now I'm going to have to say we do get the sexy reloading scene. Yeah. Where he makes whatever her name is. What's her name?
Load Nick? Me. It is Yancy Butler.
Well, I know it's the actress. What's the name of the character?
What was it? Oh, Natasha. Nat.
Daughter. Nat. That's right. You're named after a bug.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're named after the bug. It's a horrible Jean-Claude, but
well, it's worse than mine.
Well, neither of ours are worse than his.
And she's like, why is your name Chance? And he goes, because my mommy took one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So Nat is being held captive by Lance Henriksen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his gun with one shot, and he pops it open and he goes, load me. So she's got to reach in his ammo belt, which is near his crotch.
Mm-hmm. It's very suggestive.
And then she has to drop that big bullet right in that long tube that's right where his penis would be. That's what happens.
It is what happens, and it's not the only scene in this movie with like gun sexualization, because when Jean-Claude returns to his uncle's home, Uncle Wilfred's home, he tells him that like, oh, I don't have any like great weapons or anything. I don't have those double aughts you asked me to hold on to, but I do have your shotgun. It's like this dusty old shotgun, but he tosses it to him, and of course he like catches it in slow motion, and then he's like staring at it, And the look on his face, I'm like, he's really into this shotgun. And I'm like, am I the only one that is seeing this? But then the scene sort of like pans down the barrel and he like blows the dust off of it. And then you get like the soft focus change to Nat in the background. And she's looking at him like she just walked in on something that she shouldn't have seen. And I'm like, okay, it's not just me. Like, this is very intentional in the movie to sort of like sexualize this relationship he has with this shotgun of his.
Oh yeah, he's definitely flashing back to when he was a child and had it up his butt. So well, the crazy thing about this is, so if you grab a gun that's covered in dust and shit like that, you ain't gonna load it up and try to fire it. You got to clean that fucker, right?
That was my first thought. I was like, this shit is dirty as hell. He better clean this or else it ain't gonna work. Because how long has that been sitting around while he's been gone? Plus, ammo doesn't really last that long either. So it's not like you could just, I got my 10-year-old bullets here that I'm just gonna throw right in the gun and everything will be fine.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot like when you're in a zombie film and it's like, well, we got cars and we're driving with gasoline. It's like, how? Guess all the gas would be dead by now. Are you making it? All right, I'm sorry. I'm bitching about little petty shit.
No, it's fine. I mean, I had to think of it because he blows the dust off of it, and it's like, well, I guess it's okay now because he blew on it gently and he removed the dust from the firing mechanism. I don't know, but obviously they're not thinking that far ahead because, like I said earlier, seeing him hold the handgun, I'm just like, this just doesn't look right. It's not like a John Wick now where they're like, Keanu Reeves is going to train for a month with like Navy SEALs in order to get all of like sort of the motions right and like the reloading speed right and how you would hold the gun and go around a corner. Like John Woo was not doing any of that. He was just like, more guns.
No, it's just gotta look good.
Yeah,
and that's all
exactly.
that matters.
Yeah, sometimes that is all that matters.
As a matter of fact, let's talk about this. Did this scene look good, Nick? Remember, she's standing there. They're in the swamp. They've escaped into the swamp. This must be after the train scene and shit. And the motorcycle scene. We haven't even talked about that.
Yeah, we just talked about it exploding a little bit, but there is a very good chase scene that like precedes all of that as well.
Jesus Christ. There's so much. Well, anyway, they end up like they're in the swamp. And he goes, do you trust me? Close your eyes. And she's like, why should I have to close my eyes? I trust you.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame her. Even though they've already fucked at this point. So I mean,
not in the cut that I saw though. So
no. But they have. This I can guarantee. And then he like snags a giant snake. And then he punches it.
Well, he slaps it first. He like he pats it on the head like, you dirty snake.
Yeah, he slaps it to calm it down so that he can get a good punch in and knock it the fuck out. And then he takes his teeth and he bites off the rat. It's like a 10-foot long rattlesnake.
It's huge.
There's no way. Okay.
Yeah, he's got very good reflexes, but that whole scene is played like he's about to kiss her or something. And like, so at first she's a little shy, but then in the actual scene where like he grabs the snake, like the look on her face is like she's waiting for him to make a move or to like kiss her or do whatever. And it's just, he grabs the snake. And then we get, of course, like this iconic moment in all of Van Damme films where he actually punches a snake in the side of the head. And I think she even asks him, like, well, is it dead? He's like, oh, no, it's just knocked out. And then he bites the rattler off so that he can set it as a snake trap for the guys that are chasing them, which is fairly resourceful in all fairness. Yeah, it's like one of the smarter things he does as a soldier who's like trying to buy them time to get away. But it was like the slap on the head the first time that got me, because it's like I remember the snake punch, I remember the motorcycle in the barn and some of this stuff, but then the little like slap on the head, like you're such a naughty snake. Hold on, let me smack you, and then I'm gonna punch you, and then like I'm not even gonna hurt you. Well, I mean, he rips its rattler off, so it's quiet, but he does then he plants it in the tree, and it ends up actually being successful in taking out at least one of those guys that was pursuing them.
So you'll notice that in the credits there is a snake wrangler,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no actual like real snake in the film. and apparently the reason is because Yancy could not deal with like a real snake, so they had to make the fake snake. And I think that was K&B Effects that did the effects on that.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I mean, as far as like,
it looks good.
Animatronic snake goes.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Better than Anaconda.
Yeah, well, I mean, I might do Anaconda on this show at some point too, because
sure.
Yeah, of course it belongs here. But I don't know, maybe I'll do just like Snake Timber and just all movies that feature snakes.
Ah, fuck, snakes on a plane.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect one for this show. But yeah, we get sort of like towards the final showdown here, and we get a moment where like Lance Henriksen is on fire, right? That's him.
Yeah, okay. So they meet up with Wilford Brimley, which is Jean-Claude's grandpa.
Uncle Bouvet or something like that.
Something like that. Anyway, and then Jean-Claude is like, all right, I'm going off on my own. I'm gonna lead him over to the Mardi Gras graveyard.
Yes.
Okay. And then Lance and all of his rich friends who are paying to hunt and solve his problem, they show up at Wilford Brimley's home, and Wilford Brimley ends up blowing it up and fucking them all up.
Mm-hmm.
Like he shoots an arrow and shit, which is really cool. And then Lance Henriksen, like his jacket is on fire, and he's throwing it off and screaming and shit like that. And then he's like, all right, let's go get that guy. And Pick says, I can get him from the helicopter. I can take him out that way. And Lance Henriksen's like, no, we're gonna hunt him right. But then they're still flying the helicopter and shooting him with like grenades and guns and shit. It's like, what? I thought we weren't supposed to kill him from the helicopter. But they do, as he's running along.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't kill him, but I mean, what else would you think would happen if you shoot him with grenades? All right.
Yeah, you're taking a big risk. That's for
Calm
sure.
me down.
I think one of my favorite scenes though kind of like comes late in this film, and it's I think it's like right around the very end where they're in, I guess it's the Mardi Gras graveyard, and it's like just like a warehouse setting, and you get a moment where he tips over a gas can that like seems like it only has like a little bit of gas in it because it sounds empty, but then he kicks it in the air and shoots it with the shotgun, and that's a great shot, and it's a great like little like setup piece in that film as well. And like right after that, like he's hiding out and being quiet, and there's a pigeon on his shoulder, and he looks over and very, very quickly winks at the pigeon, like, thanks. He's like, hey buddy, like you got that one. And it was just so strange because like that, along with like the snake slap, it's like I kind of want to see a movie where he interacts with more animals and has like this sort of weird relationship with these animals, but we don't really get that. But yeah, that set design and the whole stunt design with Henriksen being on fire, like to ask one of the stars of your movie to like really do this fire stunt is like pretty ballsy and impressive on his part, because like he's in the middle of, I think, like a villainous monologue too when it's happening. He's yelling some shit and he's like trying to get the jacket off. And I'm sure they had to probably do this in more than one take, because it seems like the jacket's coming off a little bit like slowly, and you obviously don't want to risk burning the shit out of him. But then they cut like right after the jacket comes off, like they're still in that sequence, and you see that like the whole back of his head is greased with like Vaseline or fire retardant. And I'm like, maybe he is just sweaty again, though. So you can kind of play it off. Like, I mean, hey, the fire was hot. He was sweating. I get it. And he does this thing where he like rubs, like he slicks his hair back. And I don't know that this is real or not, because it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but somewhere in the design for the film, it said that John Woo wanted Fushan to display a kind of like Oedipus complex. So he settled for the hair slicking gesture as like this representation of his desire to be back in the birthing canal. And I was just, like reading that, I'm like, I lost my shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, not once during this movie did I think he had an Oedipus complex.
Who said that?
I don't know. It was just written in the trivia, man. These things are not cited well.
No.
But I found that pretty funny.
Yeah. I think Lance on Fire is just absolutely gorgeous, man.
It is. It's a great shot.
And that's where he starts to really improvise, like right after that, where he grabs the people and he goes, go fucking get him, and da-da-da-da. He's just, that's still all from that same take.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So everybody's like, oh, the scene's still going on. Oh, Lance is going. Okay.
He's like, you fucking just lit my ass on fire. So you better just let me rant here a little bit and go with it. But yeah, like the whole building's on fire at that point. And this is sort of like the scene too, where Van Damme finally takes off his jacket. And I'm like, okay, so he needed to be like more aerodynamic for this front flip that he does through the fire. And it's like a slow motion scene where you see him sort of like launch, and he does this front flip. And then as he's sort of beginning to land the flip, he whips out the shotgun, blasts Lance Henriksen in the chest. And I mean, like, Lance is just such a beast. He just like walks it off, doesn't even slow down. And I was like, did he hit him in the sternum or in the chest or something? But I don't know. He just happened to get up and get out of there, no problem.
Well, I mean, we've missed Arnold Vosloo getting taken out as well. I mean,
yeah, he has a little showdown with Van Damme where we see the double extendos on the guns for Van Damme. I'm like, where'd he get the extended clip for these? Like, these are just guns that he picked up laying around, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just like they're back to back between the wall. They're shooting at each other. Yeah. And then he throws the grenade in as Van Damme is jumping out of the window.
Correct.
So they exchange, and then Van Damme ends up like sliding on the floor on his back, and he ends up right underneath Vosloo, and he just like shoots him. It's so stupid. It's so amazing. I love it.
And that scene ends like he slides under the table and then shoots him a bunch with both guns. And then as he's dying, like, of course, he's got to use his legs because he's Van Damme. So he like sticks his foot up and just like waits for him to die while he's holding him up with his leg. It's amazing.
It's fucking crazy. I just, oh my God. I just wish he was opening my beers with his tight little butt cheeks.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, look, we can all dream, can't we?
So how long have we been talking, Nick?
I mean, we didn't start recording until maybe like half an hour after 4, so like an hour 40.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, it's solid.
Do you want to? Because I could talk for like 2 more fucking hours about this shit.
Yeah, that's why I brought you on the show.
Right. So because like, what's his name? He kicked me off. We were talking about Deep Star 6, and he's like, no, I got a party to go to. We got to end it. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm still talking. I was going to talk about well, we talked about the sexy reloading scene, but then there was one point where I think, was it Lance Henriksen said, "Why did you complicate my life?" And
Best
then
line in the movie.
Dolph Lundgren, or not Dolph Lundgren. Why do I do that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm all here for the Dolph Lundgren love, but
Masters of the Universe coming soon, baby.
That's right.
But Jean-Claude goes, "Poor people get bored too." And
yeah, it's a great line.
Yeah, I had some people go, "That doesn't even make any sense." And it's like, what are you talking about? He wanted revenge. You were after the fucking poor people, and now he's coming after you. That makes absolute fucking sense. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and like the commentary that the film is basically making is that like all these rich people are so bored that they have crossed over into the threshold of, well, the only thing left to do is like hunt human beings. That's the only way we can like not be bored anymore. So I like the line delivery, and like just off the top of my head, I'm like, this might be the best line of dialogue I've ever heard from Van Damme. And I mean, that credit to the script, because it really is like, why did you get involved at all in this? And he's just like, poor people get bored as well. And he's like, I needed something to do, and like this caught my interest, like the same way that you're doing this because you're fucking bored and you have money to spend. Like, I don't know, I felt like it landed really well, and it's not delivered as a one-liner in the way that a lot of the other, you know, Van Damme kind of throwaway lines are. It's like he says this line in earnest, and yeah, I don't know, it really worked for me in a way that I didn't expect. I was sort of expecting the punchy one-liner, but that's not what that is.
There's another really good scene in this film that kind of sticks out because it's not something you would expect from just, you know, a regular action film. And that's where what's that girl's name? God damn it.
Nat?
Yancy. Nat. Yeah, named after a bug. All right.
Correct.
Where she's in the warehouse and they're after her too, and she gets a gun. And a guy confronts right in front of her, and she just unloads like right into his abdomen. You know, she's not trying to do a headshot, or she's just shooting right to protect herself. And she kills this guy, and then Wilford Brimley comes out, and he's like, "Oh, now look what you've done! Give me this gun! Give me this gun!" And because she's like totally shell shocked and is trying to deal with what she just did, and Wilford comes in and is trying to take care of her. It's really powerful.
Yeah, it's the first time that like her character isn't just like the helpless damsel for the most part in the movie. And you know, I had read that she sort of struggled with that, in that she just is at the whim of all these men in the movie, that she doesn't really have a lot of agency until like later in the film, where she gets a chance to actually like do something about it. And even then it's like, okay, well, you have this grandfatherly figure coming in and trying to calm her down after a moment of what's of course going to be very, very heavy shock in that moment.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really impressive. And Wilford is a big part of why this works. Like, and then at the end, you know, it was like, oh no, look at that! Like his flask gets fucking a hole in it and whatnot. It's just really cute.
You know, like, thank God I'm an alcoholic because that flask saved my ass this time.
But apparently, he had like a fart machine, like Leslie Nielsen. You know what a fart machine is?
The one that like the noise making fart machine.
You like, yeah, you hold it in your hand and you squeeze it and it makes a fart noise. Leslie Nielsen used to carry those around on all the movie sets that he worked on. And apparently, Wilford Brimley was doing the same on this one. Like, like people were getting on a horse or bending over to get something, and they would be hitting the fart machine. Anyway, blah.
Well, hey, you got to bring levity to the set sometimes, and it helps to have a guy with a fart machine.
I gotta say, hitting that they paid for "Born on the Bayou" by Creedence.
They did, and I feel like it is a very fitting way for the movie to end. Well, I mean, it's a great song to close out the end credits because the movie just does kind of end abruptly. It's like, hey, we all lived. The guy that we thought was dead just got shot in his flask. And okay, now roll credits and play the song. And they feature it in the trailer too. But before all that, we get a very inauspicious death for Lance Henriksen here.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe I skipped over that, dude. This is my favorite death in an action film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's ridiculous.
It is fucking hilarious. So,
exactly.
Can I tell the story?
Take it away.
I can? Okay. Yeah. All right. So, Lance and Jean-Claude have been fight, blah, blah, blah. And then they get right next to each other. Jean-Claude had taken the grenade from Arnold Vosloo, right?
Yep.
He dropped it in his hands. And he drops it in Lance Henriksen's pants.
Yep.
And then he leaves him. Lance Henriksen falls down. He like pushes him, and Lance Henriksen falls down, reaches into his pants, retrieves the grenade, which, all right, throw it. Throw it.
Right?
Throw it.
You found a grenade in your pants. Better get rid of that thing before it explodes, right?
Throw it. He does not do that because he's much smarter than you and I, Nick. So what he does is he unscrews the top of the grenade and he pulls them apart and he goes, ha, 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 ha. And then it sparks between the two and he goes, whoop. And then he explodes. This is the greatest line in fucking movie history. Ha, 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 ha. Whoop. There we go. Quote it.
Such a good villain to sort of like, I mean, I guess that speaks to like the arrogance, like reflected in him using, a single shot gun that he has to reload, which is just
he's a pompous fuck.
Very much so. So I get that at least in that way, it's like he found the grenade and then he was just like so confident that he was going to, make it a non-threat in a way that nobody would expect. But yeah, I mean, if he's counting in his head, like, you really don't have time to do this, sir. If I found a grenade in my pants that was armed and I actually managed to wrangle it out of there, I'm throwing that shit. I was like, I don't care if I'm stupider than this guy. I would not even attempt to defuse a grenade. I didn't know that was an option until this movie.
Yeah, me neither. It's like, I mean, I sucked at baseball and all that shit, but I can pretty much throw a grenade far enough away to not kill me.
Yeah, just relying on basic human arm strength and survival instincts to make sure that you don't hang on to the grenade. And yeah, that's basically how the movie ends. He explodes, and then we find out that Uncle Duvee, I think is his name, has lived. And then Credence hits, and we sort of rock out as the credits roll. And yeah, I mean, it's a fitting ending for this movie. And I'm like, I was vibing along with it. And even the music early, when it's kind of like 80s and dark and synthy and kind of like Miami Vice. In the opening,
very
where they're
bluesy,
in the dark.
Very
yeah,
bluesy.
I was really having a good time with it too. I was like, oh wow, the score for this is really good. So like I was on board pretty early on, and like the violence, of course, was pretty captivating. And I love a good old fashioned fireball. So there's plenty of that to be had in this as well. Yeah, it's really, really good time.
It's very smooth. It's very soothing. It's like, I don't know, man. It just it takes you along on the ride. It's like going down the river on a raft. You're just kind of along for the ride. And I mean, you either enjoy it or you don't. And by the end of it, I'm just like, yeah, fucking Born on the Bayou kicks in. Fuck yeah, baby. I'm fist in the air. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I want to do that all over again. Let's start it from the beginning and like get all these explosions and gunshots going. And, I love the sort of interchangeability between like, oh, Van Damme is using a gun right now. And then he's tired of using the gun. He really wants to get in a kick. And so then he gets in a kick. And I feel like John Woo is a very good filmmaker for Van Damme's martial arts style, especially because of the slow motion. Like when he's at that final face off with Henricksen before he's put the grenade in his pants and he's landed his like signature jumping, spinning back roundhouse kick. I'm like, it looks really good in this film. Like it's maybe, you see it in basically every Van Damme movie, but I felt like in this movie, it looked really good. And I don't know if that was just because of like the mullet is swinging in the wind as well as he's turning, or if it was like the way that it was shot, maybe a little bit higher than usual, or the fact that like he's spamming it in there with a bunch of his other kicks. I don't know what it was, but it just felt like maybe the best looking version of that signature kick, like the Van Damme kick that we all know.
I think it was a lot of the lighting, the editing, and the camera work. John Woo had a lot of very talented people working behind the scenes on this, and I think that's why it works so well. Yeah, still he didn't open a beer bottle with his butt.
Well, at least not on camera. When he's in the trailer, he's doing that for all the co-stars.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody come over to my trailer and have a beer. Well, that's a good time, I think, for us to jump over to Critics Corner, and we'll really
You're a good time.
I am a good time. Thank you. You too, buddy. I think this is the best possible time we can go over to Critics Corner, and we'll really see what the critics had to say about this one. I mean, it's got an overall score of 63, so that's up there.
Man.
It's green, which is rare for this show. We don't really cover movies in the green. We exist in the yellow and the red only for the most part. So
I fucked it up.
We could have gone to Hawaii, but you fucked it up. So we start at the bottom with a 40, lowest score on the board from the Washington Post. This is Richard Harrington. Said the only thing wrong with John Woo's American debut, Hard Target, is that it's too American and not enough Woo.
Oh, well, okay. Whatever.
I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, like he's making an American action movie. He's not making
right.
Yeah, and not only that, he's making an American Jean-Claude action movie. So
what do you think he's gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, did you want it like you want his American debut to be a movie like set in Asia?
All right, like is he supposed to make hard-boiled reboot or something? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Still be Americanized.
Yeah, it seems like a strange criticism, but I mean, I guess if you're really into Woo stuff
fuck that guy.
This. All right, you heard that, Richard Harrington?
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Okay, so we got 250s on the board. We got the TV Guide magazine and Washington Post. So you can
TV Guide.
All right, you want TV Guide?
Yeah, well, give me both. What?
Oh, well, we only choose one when there's two because we got a lot.
Oh, come on, man.
Fine, I'll do both. I'll make an exception for you.
Break the rules.
I will break them with my fucking ironclad butt cheeks.
Giant penis.
From your mouth to God's ears, sir. Got a 50 from TV Guide magazine. It is not cited. It says, though working on a Jean-Claude Van Damme vehicle can be seen as a come down for Woo, he rises to the occasion to create an often rousing entertainment that is almost inarguably Van Damme's best film to date. So high praise, actually.
It sounds like they were talking about an erection the whole time too, man. Everything was arousing and rising, and man, what a horny reviewer.
Well, I mean, he saw like the loading of that gun and the way Jean-Claude treated that shotgun, and I think he just felt it was appropriate. Or they did. I don't know. It's not credited.
Well,
but
I mean, well, they did appreciate it, so I'm gonna say thank you, sir and or madam.
Yeah, for a 50, that's actually pretty flattering, but we'll see if the Washington Post is nicer for their 50. And this is from Desson Thompson. says when Van Damme isn't duking it out with the English language, scriptwriter Chuck Pfarrer is filling Henriksen's mouth with villainous pseudo profundities. Even in a second-rate action picture like this, and despite Henriksen's commendable efforts, they're painful to listen to.
Fuck you.
Sorry, Desmond. Eat Jean-Claude's
eat ass in not a fun way.
Not a fun way.
Because there are two different ways to eat ass, I will tell you.
There's the fun way and the not so fun way.
And I want them to do it in the not fun way, Nick. All right, what's next?
Okay, we got 360s.
I am so sorry.
We got 360s on the board.
Such a shit show.
Look, I know what I'm getting myself into, and I welcome it. So we got, let's see, Empire, Rolling Stone, and Time Out. What you want to go with?
Rolling Stone is going to aggravate me, I bet.
All right, so we're going with Rolling Stone?
Yeah, and then we'll do the other two. Come on, break the rules, buddy.
Okay, fine. We'll read them all. This is Peter Travers from Rolling Stone. Said even when the acting is hammy, notably Wilford Brimley's turn as Chance's Cajun uncle, Wu stages every fight with hypnotic grace. So yeah, definitely like points to the acting choices and character choices as a downside, but not enough to weigh down the hypnotic grace of the action sequences.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Well, you said it was going to annoy you, so of course.
I mean, you didn't understand. You didn't enjoy Wilford Brimley? What is wrong with you?
He just said the acting was hammy. Not that he didn't like it.
No. It sounds a little backhanded to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Wilford Brimley is my daddy.
We got Time Out. They also gave it a 60. Said the movie's firepower would shame the devil.
What?
It's what Hollywood wanted Wu for. Bigger, brighter explosions. I mean, if you're gonna like really praise the sort of like firepower of this movie and be nice about it, it seems like you give it more than a 60, but he's only talking about the literal fireballs in this film.
It was shiny. It was really bright.
It was.
It caught their attention.
Caught mine too.
Does that like publication even exist anymore?
Time Out?
Time Out?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think they had something like pre-pandemic was the last time I saw something from them. So I don't know, but we'll climb the board and we'll go to 63. And this is Real Views from James Berardinelli. Read him on the show many times.
What? Wait, what?
James Berardinelli.
You've had him on the show many. Oh, you've quoted him?
Yes, I've come across his reviews and read them on the show many times.
Now I can already say, fuck this guy.
It said, without the elegant technique of John Woo, Hard Target could have been a real dud. It is not a good alternative to more intelligent thrillers, such as In the Line of Fire and The Fugitive.
Fuck you.
But that's not the market it's aimed at.
No.
Duh. However, those who enter a darkened theater showing this film with a reasonable idea of what they're getting themselves into are likely to emerge satisfied.
Yeah. My butthole will be tingling as I walk out.
I mean, yeah, we all emerge satisfied after Kiki's Wonder Feet, right?
Oh, fuck. How much is that? 20?
They didn't have the prices listed at the door.
God damn it.
Okay, so now we're going to the New York Times. This is Janet Maslin, a very highly respected critic. She gave it a 70.
70? Oh, yeah. Fuck. We're still climbing. Okay.
We are climbing.
Janet. All right, Janet.
That's right. I mean, I think for Universal Soldier, she was down at one of the lowest scores. Didn't even read it because it just glossed right over it.
Smart woman. Yeah.
This Mr. Wu's obvious gusto and his taste for myth making are readily apparent, but so is his fondness for the slow, lingering death scene coupled with sickening sound effects.
What?
Presenting Mr. Van Damme as reverentially as Sergio Leone did the young Clint Eastwood, Mr. Wu displays a real aptitude for malignant mischief, which is the story's stock in trade. I mean, like, this is super overwritten. I get you work for the New York Times, but like, you're reviewing Hard Target here, lady.
Dude, I can't stand shit like this. I cannot fucking stand this kind of review where it's like, oh, I have clever wordplay. Aren't I so fucking clever? Ooh, I watched a movie you didn't get to watch and I made fun of it. I can't stand this shit. Fuck this bitch.
But she gave it a 70, so she
thank you,
likes
bitch.
it. Yeah. Thanks,
Thank you,
Janet.
bitch.
Oh,
is that what you're calling her?
The words and opinions expressed here are just that. We got the Austin Chronicle at a 70.
I don't exist.
This is Mark Savlov. You do exist, buddy. This
What'd
is
he give it?
He gave it a 78.
Mm.
And he says, to be fair, this isn't The Killer. Wu's unique penchant for over-the-top male bonding is basically nowhere to be seen. But then this is, after all, a very American story, despite Wu's name at the top. It's like you basically gave it an 8 out of 10, which is like super high praise for a film. And then it's like, well, to be fair, it's not this other movie of his that I liked. And
oh, really?
Well, there isn't enough over the top male bonding for me, but that's because this is stupid and American. But you still loved it. You gave it a 78 on the board, Mr. Savlov.
It's the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard.
I mean, so if there was more male bonding,
oh my God,
would this have gotten like 100 out of 100?
No, if it was The Killer, it would have gotten 100 out of 100.
Okay, gotcha.
Just wanted the same fucking movie.
Yeah, well, it's like we either live in a time where it's like, hey, we want new, fresh ideas. Okay, I give you the new thing, you hate it. And then it's like, well, make more of this stuff that I like. So make more of the stuff that you like. And you're like, it's just a ripoff of the other thing. And so it's like, it's spiral down in the trash.
Why don't you just all eat ass and not in a fun way?
Okay. We close it out.
So sorry.
You're good. We close it out with an 80. But yeah, anybody listening, I mean, eat ass at your own discretion.
However you enjoy it, in a fun way or not fun way, it's up to you. We don't judge.
Have fun however you eat your ass. We close it out with an 80, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter. This is Dwayne Bierge, or Byers. Van Damme is no mere fighting machine. His performance is buffed with subtle humor and a sympathetic, self-deprecating demeanor. The bad guys are terrific. Lance Henriksen as the cold and cunning sporting promoter, and Arnold Vosloo as his psycho hunting dog. All right, so this guy is pretty much on board with exactly everything we said about this. Good stuff.
He understands what the fucking movie is. Yeah.
It's called Hard Target. It's starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh,
this is
man.
not going to be like some dramatic masterpiece, but still like really solid overall and more well rated than like the vast majority of Jean-Claude's other movies, to be fair.
I just want to see him shake his little butt and do the splits. That's what I want.
Did he do the splits in this movie? He does the splits kick.
Yeah, I don't. I guess about the only time he would do it is like at the beginning when he's fighting them at the car. But I don't think he does like splits. Oh man, I can't remember.
Yeah, it does stray away from a lot of like the Van Damme staples, but we do get his signature kick at the end. So I think, it's worth it in that way. It's got the payoff. But that closes out Critics Corner and brings us to the segment of the show where I give you the opportunity to cover anything that you haven't already talked about. Was there anything? I know you said you had lots of notes. Is there anything in particular that you wanted to bring to the table before we move on?
Well, one thing I would like to point out is if you look at the credits, they will say that the makeup for Jean-Claude Van Damme was done by Zoltan.
Zoltan, really?
Yes, just one name, Zoltan.
Interesting.
He did Jean-Claude's makeup.
I'm bringing in my own makeup guy. His name is Zoltan. Don't question it.
He's gonna fucking you put a quarter in his mouth and he's gonna tell your future.
Give me a quarter. I love quarters.
You may be big. Oh. So I don't know. Let me scroll back through and you can cut all this shit out if I don't find anything.
Yeah, no problem.
We already did I'll fuck you, then I'll eat you. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
It was so much fun.
Oh man, remember that? Man, I said it with my words. Like I used my lips and my teeth and my tongue and my vocal cords and my air in my lungs. Like I used all of that to say those things.
Yeah, we're living in a simulation where all those things are happening.
Oh, I remember one thing I wanted to talk about. So you remember where Arnold Vosloo, he's there with Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about Randall. He's all he is. Oh wait, no, it's not him. It's fucking Lance. Lance is talking to Randall. And he's like, hey, you fucked up and all this shit, right? Like this guy had a family and diddle-a-doo. And then you hear a knock on the door. And it's the doctor. It's not Randall, it's the doctor. Let me keep changing every fucking character, dude. You still with me?
I'm with you.
All right. So it's the doctor and Lance is talking to him and talking about how he fucked up and now they're on to him. And he hears a knock at his door. And Lance is like, hey, just go ahead and answer that door. And when he does, he looks through the peephole and Arnold Vosloo is on the other side and he points the gun through the peephole and shoots him through the head.
Right in the head.
It's a really fucking cool shot, but you know what? All I could think was Argento already did this years ago, and he did it way better. He did an opera.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a cool shot. You get the desired effect. And then I was thinking, like, to myself too, in that scene, like, why doesn't Lance Henriksen just like do it himself? Like, you're in the guy's house already. Why go through the whole like charade of, oh, there's a knock at the door and just you might want to check who that is and look through the people and oh, you got your brains blown out.
Well, what's the fun in that?
I mean, I guess he wants to have the fun. He's like, well, maybe, Pick Van Cleef he's the psycho that really loves killing, so I'll let him do most of that.
He can keep his hands clean.
Right? I'm just a businessman.
Yep. I'm a businessman making business plans.
But he does punch Randall in the face earlier in the film, and they're confronting him to the point where it's like his hand is bleeding, and he has to wash it off in his little fishbowl. But then he dries it on a rag and just throws the rag on the ground. But again, he's like, "There's no cops coming to investigate this. Like, I'll leave my DNA all over the place. No fear."
Yeah,
but it does make him a great character.
There's one fun fact is like when he agrees to go ahead and work for Nat, who's named after a bug. She's like, okay, well, you drive and you do all this. And it's like, I don't have a license. I don't know how to drive.
No, but he's adept at horseback and motorcycle riding.
Yeah, he can drive a motorcycle, not a car. So whatever. All right. Well, I guess that's about it.
Well, he never got his license because he's an able seaman.
He's just busy ejaculating everywhere.
Yeah, while steering a boat, or I don't know what he's doing on the boat other than ejaculating, apparently. But don't want to think about that movie. Well, now I think we'll get to the part in the show where I'm going to ask you for a gateway drug movie for Hard Target.
Oh, fuck. So,
yes, sir.
Sort of like a double feature. right?
Yeah, you can think of it that way. But
I guess I could.
Yeah, you can, and if that helps, then go for it. But yeah, basically something where if someone has never seen Hard Target, like what's a good gateway drug type of movie to get them on board with this concept?
Man, I don't know. It's got to be like like an action film, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
I guess I'll put it with Time Cop. Fuck it. It's another Sam Raimi produced film. I don't know. It doesn't really have a lot of like Jean-Claude like action stuff, but I'm not really into that anyway. So I guess that would probably work for me. What about you?
I had to sort of think like if I wanted to keep it in the Jean-Claude realm. And I think for the last one I had suggested Double Impact for Universal Soldier. And I think for this I would go with I'm gonna say Sudden Death. Not because it's super action heavy. I mean, there is action, but because it's a little bit more serious. And I look at that like it's Van Damme's version of Die Hard. So like he still gets to have some one-liners, have some fun, but it is set in a world where the story is more serious than a lot of the stuff he's typically doing.
Does that like have to do with like a helicopter or something towards the climax?
I believe there is a helicopter above the roof of the stadium where the Pittsburgh Penguins were playing, and he ends up on the roof. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I've seen that poster.
Yeah.
Never seen the movie.
Oh, there's a helicopter in that one too. So
I love helicopters.
yeah, I love helicopters too.
They spin.
They do. They spin. They fly. Sometimes they have guns attached.
Good
times.
Airwolf.
Yeah.
Blue Thunder.
I love Blue Thunder. I just found out recently that my mother-in-law, like, she didn't write the script, but she transcribed the script. She typed the Blue Thunder screenplay.
Oh, nice. Roy Scheider.
Yeah, of course, Roy Toy.
I love him.
Yeah, he doesn't really end up on this show because he's not typically making horrible movies.
What? What are you talking about? Blue Thunder isn't rated that high.
That's true. I mean, it's definitely like sort of in the B movie territory. But it's solid. I might be able to get it on here if I really pull some strings with the guy that runs it.
Yeah, am I gonna have to force this shit?
Maybe. I mean, I'd be happy to talk about it,
My dad used to fly the helicopter that they use for Airwolf.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was like an air medical rescue guy, and they would fly the Airwolf helicopter. I was like so stoked about that.
That's awesome.
Even though Airwolf was a stupid fucking show.
Well, they did make a Blue Thunder show as well.
Indeed. Yeah, that didn't last long.
No, I think it's like 1 or 2 seasons, maybe.
Not even. I don't even think it made it a full season, dude.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, so I mean, you've been here before. We're in the wrap up phase, but what are you working on? You want to tell some people about the shit show? See, give them an opportunity to listen to more stories of eating ass and other adventures.
Well, okay. Yeah, I'm dragging everything out. I love talking to people, and that's pretty much what we do on the Cinema Shit Show. We have people on to talk about a movie that we watch. The shit show is not the movie. It's us. It's me and Ben, my co-host. And right now we're doing Manicotti Mayhem. Like for the month of May, we're doing all Italian films. We may be doing, I think we may have Vanya on for this one that's coming up.
That'll be fun.
We're trying to get confirmation on that. But we do that, and we're Cinema Shit Show. We're Cinema Shit Show everywhere. Just Cinema Shit Show. We're such a shit show, you don't even have to think about it. If you want to find us, you just type out Cinema Shit Show, and there we are. We got that going on. And Nick, am I doing anything else? Am I doing anything?
I don't know. I'm not involved in your daily
I'm not
life.
doing anything. No.
Well, you're
I'm
you're part of the film club, the Shice International Film Club, where we get together on Saturdays and we talk about a different movie of choice. And we're finishing up animation month, where we're going to be talking Shrek 2. And we do that once a week, basically. And oddly enough, the first Saturday in June is June 1st. But I have obligations, so I'm not going to be able to officially start Jean-Claude Damme on that day. So we'll probably have to bump it to Sunday. But we will be transitioning from Animation Month into Jean-Claude Damme, which will coincide with all the episodes that I'm going to release on this show for June. So finally going to have synergy work to my advantage.
Nice. Well, I gotta say, I haven't been able to take part like over this past month, and I feel really bad, but I have to move and I got a lot of shit going on right now. But yeah, definitely check out Shice International. It's like a book club, but it's for a movie. So everybody watch the same movie and then we get together and we talk about what we liked or didn't like or whatever. It's a very welcoming place. So I definitely suggest that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I always encourage people to, like, if you're shy and you maybe like don't want to talk, just like come hang out the first time and listen, because you can do that, and you can even listen anonymously now on Twitter, so you don't even have to like log into the room to show your face. And if you enjoy listening and you see that everybody's like friendly and welcoming and kind, and we just joke and laugh and have a good time, you'll be more encouraged to maybe give it a chance. So yeah, you can find me at Nick Shiesty on Twitter, and just let me know if you're interested, and we'll get you set up. But I've got one pressing question for you.
Oh, fuck.
For all the people out there that listen to the Cinema Shit Show and that listen to this show, how are those Sour Patch Kids treating you, sir?
Oh my god. God damn it. I can't believe. All right, look, I'm eating them like almost every night, you fucker. I am putting them in my mouth and masticating them. I don't know what colors they are. I'm not looking at the colors. I'm just chewing them and swallowing their gelatinous fucking whatever. You fucker.
You're welcome, buddy.
It's not going to help with the rating system, you little shit.
It ain't, but that's okay. I mean, I don't ask anybody to do that anymore. I think I did it like once or twice, but yeah, I know. But I'm glad you're enjoying them, and just don't send your dentist bill my way. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you for coming onto the show and giving me a reason to watch a movie that, it was like watching it for the first time, because it pinged certain memories of certain scenes. And I felt like I was maybe watching 75% of it for the first time. And I really just had a blast with how insane this movie is. And like, I didn't even mention that they go to a restaurant called the Half Moon Utility Restaurant. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? What is a utility restaurant? And I guess maybe it's just they serve coffee and gumbo only for 92 cents. But yeah, thank you so much, man. It's always a blast talking to you. I'm glad that you were able to scratch one of these off the board, because I'll be recording with Movie Miss when she's feeling better, and we're going to do Time Cop. And I think I got Street Fighter lined up, and I might even be able to get Ben and some of the VAR guys together to talk about the Vargas Kumite on Bloodsport, which might have to get released as like a bonus episode or something, because just of the calendar. But yeah, I really love doing this. I'm glad you were here, man. And thank you so much.
Well, thanks for tolerating me, man. I know I am sometimes a lot to deal with. I'm very comfortable with you. And yeah, I just, yeah. All right, I'm done.
All right, buddy. Well, you have yourself a good night.
Love you, buddy. Bye.
Love you too. Take care.
Thank you to Nix for coming on the show once again, hanging out with me, bullshitting about Hard Target, snake punching, fiery Lance Henriksen, competitive accenting, You can hear more nonsense just like that by checking out The Cinema Shit Show, which you can find on your socials at Cinema Shit Show. And of course, I will have all of that info covered for you conveniently in the show notes. And of course, thank you to everyone who took the time to listen to this episode. I know you have a lot of choices when it comes to podcasts, and I appreciate you spending your time with us. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you do, please consider leaving a rating on your podcast platform of choice and telling a friend about it. And the support page is now live over at ko-fi.com. That's ko-fi.com/badmovieswelove. I'd love to hear from you, so if you have a bad movie you love or would like to be a guest on the show, you can contact me at badmovieswelove@theshice.com or at badmovieswelove on Twitter and Instagram. And that's love with an LUV on the socials. And until next time, take care, be well, and have fun however you get your movies.